and go the other way, heel, and give a double check like that, heel. I think it's a straight line pattern at first until he settles down. And then you do an inside heel. You just pull back a little bit on the lead, like that, and turn into him. So he learns to stay out of our way. Heel. Yeah, I know you got ear cleaner in there, so you can shake your head. Sit. I'll say sit on my right foot, so it's just like heel.
Your right foot's extended when you're saying sit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because my right hand and my right foot
Go out at the same time?
it's not the same time. Yeah, watch. I'll face you so you can see it. Heel. Heel. Sit. Good boy. That way he sits parallel to us.
Do you always try to praise him after he
Sit.
does what you tell him to do?
No, not always.
Mhm.
Right now, I haven't been praising him for about every third command. When he's doing good with you here, though, I'm going to praise him a little more so he wants to be with me and not you. Heel, heel, no, no, heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good boy. If he doesn't sit, all you do is just put pressure straight up until he does. And this is a challenge thing right here, right now. He wants to play. Let me get it behind his neck. There it is. When he sits, you just let the pressure straight off so he'll slack in the lead. So a lot of people don't know what to do, push on their hind end and everything. Best thing to do is just put pressure straight up and he sits. Even if you have to use both hands like your lady friend, you know, just do it like that. And then if you want to do an automatic sit, we just encroach on his space. Bring our feet together and he should sit without being told. Okay, so like if we're walking together and we're having a conversation, we don't want to interrupt it because I got to communicate to the dog. All I have to do is just walk into him, bring pressure, and bring my feet together. Good boy. But he's got to be looking at you in order for that to happen. If he's not watching you, no, heel. Come on, Max. Stop thinking about other things.
So you're checking him from time to time to make sure he's paying attention to you, right?
Yeah, anytime his nose hits the ground or it's in the air smelling some ducks or something like that, I'm giving him a check. I'll bring my feet together and there again is automatic.
His head should be basically a little bit in front of your left leg at all times,
He
or
could be
parallel
to
to
my
it?
leg or his head in front, but never his shoulder in front. As soon as the shoulder starts to go in front, just turn, even if it's just for a few paces and you're going to walk around the block at home, just do like this, then go back on your walk once he's paralleling you. Heel. Come on, Max. Good boy. Here. Come on, Max. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. And he should always have his head kind of canted towards me like this, my hand, so he's watching me, you know? Sit. Because if he's watching you, he's probably almost 100%. If he's not watching you,
He doesn't know what's going on.
he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He's looking at the leaves over there or the house or somebody walking by. He's not paying attention. So if he's sniffing or anything, I always go like that. Just check, check. Heel. Good boy. Heel. Yeah, I didn't see me that time to sit. He had his head turned away, so I wanted to demonstrate. So if he's not looking at you, it's harder because he's not paying attention. But when he's paying attention, see how easy that is? And it's just encroaching where I'm right on top of my dog. Now, stay is just a little check on the lead like that. You drag this around his neck. Stay. Hands spread like a traffic officer. And just walk away the first time, just a short distance, because you want to get positive reinforcement. And I come back and I pet him right over his eyes with my thumbs. So every time he opens them, he sees my face. And that desensitizes him against to any kind of aggression, because in the canine world, if you make eye contact and smile, a fight would ensue, okay? So it teaches the dog that that's not what I want. I just want to praise him. Then I release him from stay with okay.
You always say okay when you slap your hand? Yeah.
Just back of my left fist with my right hand. It's kind of like the pat on my thigh for heel. It's just 1, 2. So he learns that little click, click means walk to heel. So he's released from stay. But it's always important. Sit. No. If he's disobedient at all, just give him a check and just remind him of his manners. But it's always important to release him from stay. Don't just walk to heel. Just release him and then walk to heel. Because if you don't release him, he learns you skip that and he thinks he's getting away with something, okay? So we'll do it again here. Give a little check. Break the lead around his neck. Stay. This time I'm going to walk further away. Just double the distance each time. And then come back with your hand up so he stays right there. Pet him over the eyes. Good boy, Max. Good boy. Okay. And he knows to walk right off with me. Heel. We're going to do it one more time. I always do things in a series of 3. If I get 3 stays, I don't need to keep doing them until he fails. Just try to get 3 good ones, then move on to your next command. Heel. Sit. Little check up. Stay. Nope, he moved on me. If he does that, I'm not going to punish him right here. I'm going to take him back here and make my correction, okay? I wanted that to happen so you could see what to do. So.
Well, it's funny. It's odd. He went directly to you. He didn't come to me.
Yeah, because he knows I'm working with him. Sit. It's a respect thing, too. After a while, he'll know that. No. And I'll go, no. Then I'll give a little bump. No. Then I'll repeat the command. Stay. 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 Come back again, the hand up all the way back. That's a long stay for a puppy, okay? Because they just get so easily distracted. But as he matures, he's going to get better and better at that. But I wanted to show you I can go pretty good distance from it. But the key is when you do it, if you feel like you need to give him a verbal stay from a distance, repeat it. Stay, you know? And it just reinforces it from a distance. Because when I'm training a lot of times, the unseen part, other than the demo, is I'll walk up on the drive, stay. I'll walk back to him, stay. And I'll repeat it several times just so it's fresh in his mind. Because again, when he came here, it was 1001, 1002, next subject. Now he's got to wait that whole time. I'll walk away and walk back. That's a long time for him not to have any input. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now when I get back to him again, I got to release him. So if he's not looking at me, I'm going to say his name, Max. And then I'm going to release him. Well, it's always important that he looks at you when you release him, because even though we can speak verbally, we want him to see the hand signal, because the judge of what he knows is when I do everything with just hand signals, and I'm going to do that in just a minute. But the last command is no here. And I'll point at him and say, no. Max, here. And you can see he's not afraid to come here after a correction now. Before he kind of held his head low, remember?
Now, why'd you say no?
Because no is a talk command here. Because anytime you're going to be mad at your dog, you're going to shout no.
Right.
And I want him to know that when I say no, that means sit, look at me, and wait for further directions. Then I can recall him. Because, like, let's say, for example, we're in New Orleans at the middle of the night on Bourbon Street, there's someone hollering at you. We're not going to go find out what they want because people shoot people in New Orleans, right?
True,
so we
yeah.
got to be very careful what we're doing. Well, when we're the larger animal, because we stand much taller than the dog, it's like a grizzly bear versus a child, okay? So he doesn't want to come near you because now we're in a threatening posture because we're mad because maybe he dug in the lawn, maybe he hiked the leg on your vehicle or whatever, you know? And he's just done something that's upset us, so now we're mad. So we say, no, no. If we keep pursuing him, we're just going to teach him to run from us. So I want no to mean just sit and look at me, and if you get back to me, everything's immediately forgiven. There's no more argument, because dogs live in the moment. They're not like us. They don't harbor anxiety. I'm sure you know you've worked as an attorney for a long time. You can walk into some courtrooms, and if there's somebody that you've had a conflict with in the past, sometimes you just feel that pressure right here. But you have to. That's how we react as humans. We have a hard time shutting our emotional part off. We have to act other than what we feel. Does that make sense?
Yeah, entirely.
And so what we're trying to do with the dog is put on an act. I tell people in training, I act like I'm mad. I don't say no like he didn't do anything wrong. When training, I'm going to make it sound like he did something wrong, so that when he does do something wrong, he knows it means better get back to my owner right away, so that I can be forgiven. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then, so no is the only universal command in all my dog training, whether it's hunting dog or not. It could be no sit, no stay, no anything, but no heel is how we teach it, because a dog will never come to you from the no command unless it's taught this way. They always want to stay away from you until you calm down.
So when you say no, he stops. You can drop it, and then you say, are you saying come?
I'm saying here.
Here. Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you again.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll pat my thigh, heel. No. Just drop the lead. Max, here. Good boy. Good boy, Max. Good boy. That hope is so hopefully we don't have to chase him near as much being a puppy as if we didn't do that. Because usually if you say no, everybody's running after their dog and he's running down the road.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen it before many times.
And then and so you want to practice it a lot like this, and then later on, you have him wobbling like that. No. Here. And you see there's no anxiety in him now to come to me. The first time he would come with his head low to his shoulder, so he felt like he was punished. He didn't like it. Now he has no fear of being told no and being recalled. He's just knowing, I did something, I don't know what I did, but if I get back to Tom, everything's forgiven and he loves on me.
Got it.
So now I'm going to try to do everything without the voice, okay? Just so you see how important it is, because really, as you and she practice voice and hand signals simultaneous, it's really important because both of your voices will be different. Then you want to drop the voice and just use hand signals. If the dog's obeying the hand signals, he can't do that without watching you, okay? And they usually don't do that straight out of the kennel because he's excited and he's a young dog. And after a bath, it's even harder, okay? Because they get pretty invigorated after a bath. Sit. But what I want to do is just go. Got sniffing there, but you can see he can do it without any voice at all. That tells me he's really ready to go home and just practice with you guys, because he can do it without the voice. But the key is for 30 days you got to use your voice, because he learns your praise voice, he learns your correction voice, and he learns your command voice. Heel, sit, stay, praise. That's a good boy, Max. That's a good boy. He likes the falsetto voice. And then if you're going to correct him, real firm, and step into him, get closer to the dog so he reacts. If you're giving him commands of no out here, it's not near as aggressive as if you're right here, right in his personal space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, plenty of sense.
So just close it right on him. And then, of course, when you put the lead on, the ring and the leather goes to the bottom, so it applies pressure. You drop it, and it releases the pressure. And it's really important when you walk, you get your hand down here. That's so hard. Everybody carries their hand here, because when we pick something up, we carry it above our waist. So you want to get in the habit of holding your hand down here. When I was learning in England, I used to have to grab the side of my trousers like this just to force me to keep my hand down, because I just kept bringing it up every time I was training. So it's something that takes a little bit of practice. But really, that's it. He's got a couple little marks on his ankles, but I think it's just from licking and licking and licking in the kennel when he's by himself.
Yeah, that'd be
but
fine.
No problems in his ear. had that little mark. It's still there, but it's all healed. It's just got a little redness to it. Other than that, he's been fine.
Excellent.